I got paid to help my boyfriend break up with me. I signed up for the app on a Tuesday night when our rent was 3 weeks late, and my boyfriend was asleep on the couch with his phone face down on his chest. The listing called it empathy outsourcing, which sounded better than what it actually was. Reading breakup scripts to strangers for $12 a call. The company promised flexible hours and emotional detachment. I needed the first part. The second seemed easy enough. The first call came through 20 minutes after I passed the voice test. A woman in Ohio who needed to fire her assistant. I read the lines they gave me, kept my tone warm but firm, and hung up before she could argue. $12 appeared in my account. I did 6 more that night. By Thursday, I'd made enough to cover groceries. Most calls were breakups. The scripts followed a template. Vague reassurances, soft apologies, nothing specific enough to invite questions. I learned to pause in the right places, to let my voice dip when I said things like, "You deserve better," or "This isn't about you." The clients who hired me were cowards, but I wasn't being paid to judge them. I was being paid to sound like I cared. My boyfriend didn't ask where the money was coming from. He worked freelance too, though his gigs had dried up months ago. We'd stopped talking about it. Stopped talking about most things, really. He spent his days applying to jobs he wouldn't get, and his nights scrolling through his phone with the sound off. I worked my calls in the bedroom with the door closed. 3 weeks in, I opened the app and saw a new assignment waiting. The payout was higher than usual, $30 instead of $12. I clicked it without thinking. The recipient's name loaded first. Mine. I stared at the screen. My full name, spelled correctly, no typos. I refreshed the page. It didn't change. Below the name was an address. Our address. The apartment we'd been splitting for 2 years. The script was labeled romantic termination, mutual respect tone. I scrolled down. The client ID was anonymous, like always, but the details in the notes section weren't. Recipient may be emotional. Emphasize need for space. Mention shared memories fondly but briefly. Avoid specifics about future plans. I read it twice. Then I checked the submission timestamp, 40 minutes ago. He'd been in the other room the whole time. The app's policy was clear. Every accepted call had to be completed within 24 hours, or the contractor forfeited their last 2 weeks of pay. I'd already accepted it automatically when I opened the assignment. The countdown timer at the top of the screen showed 23 hours and 18 minutes remaining. I sat on the edge of the bed and opened the script. It started the way they all did. I've been thinking a lot lately, and I need to be honest with you. My hands were shaking, but I forced myself to keep reading. The lines were generic, the kind of thing anyone could say to anyone, but they fit. They fit us. The part about growing in different directions. The part about not being ready. The part that said, "You're amazing, but I just need space right now." I heard him cough in the living room. The couch springs creaked. He was still awake. The app chimed. A reminder popped up. Call scheduled for tonight. Recipient expects contact soon. I stood up and walked to the door. Through the crack, I could see him sitting up now, staring at his phone, waiting. I closed the door and sat back down. The screen hadn't changed. My name was still there, still correct, still impossible to explain away as coincidence. I scrolled through the script again, slower this time, looking for anything that might prove I was wrong. The third paragraph mentioned the coffee shop. Not just any coffee shop, the one on Ashland with the chipped blue tables where we'd spent 4 hours talking on our first date. The script called it that place we used to go. I'd never told anyone the name of that shop. I barely remembered it myself until I saw it written out. Further down, buried in the caller notes, was a line about my birthday. Not the date, just a reference to the trip we took last year. We'd gone to the coast. He'd surprised me with a weekend rental. I'd thought it meant something. The app chimed again. A new message appeared at the bottom of the screen. Recipient is online. Optimal call window is now. I locked my phone and set it face down on the bed. My pulse was too loud. I needed to think. I needed to figure out what this was before I did something I couldn't take back. The policy was clear. I'd read it a dozen times when I signed up. Every accepted assignment had to be completed. No exceptions. Refusal meant forfeiture of all pending payments. 2 weeks of work, nearly $400. Money we didn't have. Money I'd already mentally spent on rent. I picked up the phone again and opened the app's help section. There was a contact form for disputes, but the automated response said, reviews took 3 to 5 business days. The timer at the top of the screen showed 23 hours and 6 minutes. I heard him stand up in the living room. Footsteps crossed toward the kitchen. The fridge opened and closed. He was getting water. He always got water when he couldn't sleep. I opened the script one more time and read the opening line aloud, barely whispering. I've been thinking a lot lately, and I need to be honest with you. It sounded worse in my voice, worse than it had in my head. The footsteps came back toward the bedroom. I locked the phone and shoved it under the pillow. The door opened a crack. You still up? He asked. I didn't turn around. Yeah. You okay? Fine, just working. He didn't move. I could feel him standing there waiting for me to say something else. When I didn't, he closed the door again. I waited until his footsteps faded, then pulled the phone back out. The app had logged the interruption as a delay. A new note appeared in the assignment file. Recipient may be suspicious. Proceed with caution. I scrolled to the client ID and clicked it. The profile was anonymous, like always, but the account creation date was recent, 2 months ago, right around the time he'd stopped talking about his job search, right around the time he'd started spending more time on his phone. I opened a new browser tab and searched for the app's name plus anonymous client. The first result was a Reddit thread from 6 months ago. Someone asking if the service kept logs. The top reply said no. Everything was encrypted, no names stored, no way to trace a client unless they chose to reveal themselves. I went back to the script. The final paragraph included a line I'd missed before. I hope we can still be friends. You mean a lot to me. He'd never said that to me. Not once in 2 years. But it was exactly the kind of thing he'd write if he thought it sounded better than the truth. The app chimed again. Another reminder. The timer showed 22 hours and 53 minutes. I stood up and opened the bedroom door. He was back on the couch, phone in hand, screen glowing in the dark. He looked up when he heard me. Can't sleep? He asked. I shook my head. Need some air. Want company? I'm good. I grabbed my jacket and walked out before he could say anything else. The hallway was cold and too bright. I took the stairs instead of the elevator, counting steps to keep my hands from shaking. Outside, the street was empty. I walked 2 blocks before I stopped and pulled out my phone again. The app was still open. The script was still there. The timer was still counting down. I tried calling the support line. It rang 4 times before an automated voice picked up. Thank you for contacting Empathy Solutions. Our office Office hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Please leave a message and we'll respond within 2 business days. I hung up and opened the client notes again. There was a new line at the bottom, added within the last 10 minutes. If recipient asks questions, redirect to script. Do not improvise. He'd updated it while I was standing in the hallway. While I was walking outside, he was still awake, still watching the app, still waiting for me to make the call. I walked another block and sat down on a bench outside a closed convenience store. The script was still open on my screen. I read it one more time, start to finish, looking for anything I could use, any detail that didn't fit, any line that proved I was wrong. There was nothing. The app chimed. A new message appeared. Recipient is waiting. Delayed calls may result in reduced payout. I closed the app and opened my messages. His name was at the top of the list. The last text he'd sent me was from 3 days ago. Picking up dinner. Want anything? I typed out a message. We need to talk. I stared at it for 30 seconds, then deleted it. The app chimed again. The timer showed 22 hours and 41 minutes. I stood up and started walking back toward the apartment. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out. A new notification from the app. Final reminder. Call must be completed within 24 hours to receive payment. I opened the door to our building and climbed the stairs. He was still on the couch when I walked in, still holding his phone. He looked up and smiled. Feel better? He asked. I nodded and went back to the bedroom. I closed the door, sat down on the bed, and opened the app one last time. The script was waiting. The timer was still counting down. I pressed the call button. The call connected before I could change my mind. An automated voice played first. This call is being recorded for quality assurance. Please proceed with your assigned script. I heard the line click over, silence on the other end, then breathing. Hello? His voice came through clear, familiar, careful. I looked down at the script. My throat closed. The first line was highlighted in yellow, waiting. Hi, I managed. Who is this? The app's interface pulsed red. A warning appeared at the bottom of the screen. Follow script exactly. Deviation may result in call termination and fee forfeiture. I cleared my throat and read the first line. I've been thinking a lot lately, and I need to be honest with you. Silence, then. Okay. He didn't sound surprised. He sounded like he was waiting for something specific. I kept reading. This isn't easy to say, but I think we both know things haven't been working for a while. Right, he said. His voice was flat. Practiced. The script told me to pause here, to let him process. I counted 3 seconds in my head while staring at the wall. I care about you, I read. I really do. But I think we've been growing in different directions. I understand, he said. Through the door, I could hear the TV still playing. Some late night show with canned laughter. He'd turned the volume down. The next line made my stomach turn. You're an amazing person. This isn't about anything you did wrong? Okay, he said again. I stopped reading. The app's interface flashed red again. A new message appeared. Continue script. Do not deviate. Are you still there? He asked. I forced myself to keep going. I just need some space right now. I need to figure out what I want. That makes sense, he said. His tone hadn't changed. He wasn't arguing, wasn't asking questions. He was following along like he'd read this before. The script moved to the next section. I was supposed to mention good memories now, to soften the blow. I'll always remember that place we used to go. I read. The one with the blue tables. He was quiet for a moment, then, yeah, me too. The TV went silent in the other room. I heard him shift on the couch. And that trip last year, I continued. That meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me too, he said. The script had a note here. Recipient may become emotional. Maintain compassionate tone but stay firm. I looked at the door. I could walk out there right now. I could end this. But the app's timer was still running at the top of my screen, and below it was the payment amount. $30 for this call, plus the $400 I'd already earned. Money we needed. Money he knew we needed. I hope you understand, I read. This is what's best for both of us. I do, he said. I get it. His voice cracked slightly on the last word. Not much. Just enough. The script was almost done. 3 more lines. I hope we can still be friends, I read. You mean a lot to me. You too, he said quietly. I heard him stand up in the living room. Footsteps crossed toward the kitchen. Water running. He was giving me privacy. The second to last line appeared on my screen. I think it's better if we don't talk for a while, just to give us both time. That's probably smart, he said. The water shut off. 1 line left. The script marked it as optional, but the app's interface suggested reading it for maximum client satisfaction. Take care of yourself, I read. You too, he said. The line went quiet. Neither of us hung up. The app's interface started flashing. A new message appeared. Call complete. Please disconnect to receive payment. I pressed the red button. The call ended. The screen showed a confirmation. Payment processing. Funds will appear in your account within 24 hours. I set the phone down and stared at the door. He was still in the kitchen. I could hear him opening cabinets, closing them, moving things around that didn't need to be moved. My phone buzzed. A text from him. You did great. I read it twice. Then I opened the app and checked the client notes. There was a new line at the bottom, added 2 minutes ago. Contractor performed well. Professional tone maintained throughout. Would recommend for future assignments. He'd reviewed me while standing in our kitchen, while I was still sitting on our bed. I opened my banking app and refreshed it. The $30 hadn't posted yet, but my pending balance showed everything I'd earned over the past 3 weeks. $430 total, enough for rent with a little left over. I heard him walk back to the living room. The couch springs creaked. The TV came back on, volume low. I opened my messages and stared at his text. You did great. My hands were steadier now. I typed out a response. Thanks. I deleted it. I tried again. We should talk. I deleted that too. The app chimed. A new notification appeared. New assignment available. Payout $15. Accept. I closed the app and opened my email instead. The support address was listed at the bottom of every automated message they'd sent me. I started typing. I need to dispute an assignment. The call I just completed was sent to me by mistake. The recipient was someone I know personally. I should not have been assigned this call. Please remove it from my record and cancel the payment. I read it over 3 times, then deleted the last sentence. If I canceled the payment, I'd lose everything. I tried again. I need to report a policy violation. A client used your service to target a contractor personally. This is harassment. I'm requesting an immediate investigation. I read it again. It sounded desperate. It sounded like I was making excuses. I deleted the whole thing and started over. I just completed a call that was addressed to me personally. I believe the client knew I would be assigned this call. I'm requesting clarification on your assignment algorithm and client verification process. I hit send before I could change my mind. The response came back in 40 seconds. Automated. Thank you for contacting Empathy Solutions. Our assignment system is fully randomized and encrypted to protect protect both client and contractor privacy. If you have concerns about a specific call, please note that all assignments are legally binding once accepted. Refusal to complete an accepted call will result in forfeiture of all pending payments. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. A representative will review your message and respond within 3 business days. I read it twice. Then I opened the app again and checked the assignment history. The call I just completed was listed at the top. Status: completed. Payment pending. Below it was a note I hadn't seen before. Client has enabled auto-renewal for future services. Contractor may be assigned additional calls from this client. I stood up and opened the bedroom door. He was still on the couch, phone in hand, scrolling through something. He looked up when he heard me. Hey, he said, you okay? I nodded. I'm fine. You sure? You seem off. Just tired. He set his phone down. Want to watch something? I can put on that show you like. I'm good. I think I'm just going to go to bed. Okay. He picked his phone back up. Let me know if you need anything. I went back to the bedroom and closed the door. My phone was still on the bed, screen dark. I picked it up and opened the app one more time. The new assignment was still waiting. $15. The recipient's name was unfamiliar. The script was labeled apology, professional tone. I clicked accept without reading the details. The payment counter at the top of the screen updated. $445 pending. The app chimed. A new message appeared. Thank you for your continued service. Your next call is scheduled for tomorrow evening. Please review the script and prepare accordingly. I opened the script. It was short, 3 paragraphs. Standard apology template. Nothing personal. I set the phone down and lay back on the bed. Through the door I could hear the TV still playing. He laughed at something. A real laugh, not forced. My phone buzzed. Another text from him. Forgot to mention, I might have a lead on a job. Interview next week. Fingers crossed. I stared at the message. He hadn't mentioned a job search in months. Hadn't mentioned anything about next week. I typed back. That's great. Good luck. He responded immediately. Thanks. Things are looking up. I locked my phone and closed my eyes. The app's notification light blinked green in the darkness. Another assignment waiting. Another script to read. Another $12 I couldn't afford to turn down. I sat on the bed with the door closed, scrolling through job listings I wouldn't apply to when the app chimed at 9 the next night. The notification said, priority call, immediate connection required. I opened it. $40, double the usual rate. The recipient name loaded slowly, 1 letter at a time. My name, again. The script was longer this time, more detailed. The title read, romantic termination. Closure emphasis. Same client ID, same anonymous account. The notes section had expanded since yesterday. New lines added throughout the day. Recipient may be defensive. Maintain calm tone. Do not engage with questions. Redirect to script if challenged. The timestamp showed an update from 6 minutes ago. The app chimed again. A banner appeared across the top. Auto dial enabled. Call will connect in 60 seconds. Please prepare. I tried to close the app. The screen locked. Priority assignments cannot be canceled once accepted. Disconnecting will result in immediate account suspension and forfeiture of all payments. The countdown started. 58 seconds. I opened the door. He was in the kitchen making tea. The kettle was starting to whistle. Hey, I said. He looked up. Want some? I'm good. The app vibrated. 45 seconds. You sure you're okay? He asked. You've been weird since yesterday. I'm fine. 30 seconds. I went back to the bedroom and closed the door. The script was already loaded. First line highlighted. 20 seconds. I could hear him pouring water, opening cabinets, normal sounds. 10 seconds. The countdown disappeared. Connecting now. The line clicked. His voice came through. Hello? He sounded confused this time, less prepared. The script pulsed red. Begin immediately or call will be marked incomplete. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Hello? He said again. Is someone there? The app started beeping. Contractor must speak within 10 seconds or face penalty. I forced the words out. Hi. This is going to be hard to hear, but I need you to listen. Silence then. Okay. I heard him moving in the kitchen. The tea kettle went silent. The next line appeared. I've been thinking about us a lot. About where we are. About where we're going. Right, he said slowly. The script told me to pause. I counted 3 seconds. Through the door, I heard him walk toward the living room. I don't think this is working anymore, I read. I don't think it has been for a while. He didn't respond. The couch springs creaked. Are you there? I asked. The app flashed red. Yeah, he said, I'm here. I kept reading. It's not about one thing. It's about everything. The way we don't talk anymore. The way we just exist in the same space without really being together. Okay, he said quietly. The script moved faster now. Longer paragraphs, more details. Things I'd never said out loud but had thought about late at night. I feel like we're just going through the motions, I read. Like we're staying together because it's easier than leaving. Long silence, then, is that how you feel? The app flashed red. Do not deviate from script. Answer only with provided text. I looked at the next line. I think we both feel it. We're just too scared to admit it. Maybe, he said. His voice sounded different now, smaller. I care about you. I always will. But I can't keep pretending this is enough. What do you want me to say? He asked. The app flashed. Redirect to script. Do not engage. I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to understand. I'm trying, he said. The timer showed 12 minutes remaining. Average call length for this type of assignment. I think we need to end this, I read. Not because I don't care, because I do, but because staying together is hurting both of us. He didn't respond. I could hear him breathing. Slow, controlled. I know this is sudden. I know it doesn't feel fair, but I've been thinking about this for months. Months? His voice cracked. The app flashed. Continue script. Do not acknowledge questions. I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want to hurt you, but staying silent was hurting us both. So you're doing this over the phone? He asked. The script had an answer. I know this isn't the right way. I know you deserve better, but I couldn't do it face to face. I couldn't watch you try to fix something that's already broken. Silence. Then something hit the floor in the living room. The next section was labeled closure statements. The interface showed a note. Read slowly. Allow recipient to process. I want you to know this isn't your fault. I read. You didn't do anything wrong. We just grew apart. It happens. Does it? He asked. I hope you can forgive me someday. I hope you can understand why I had to do this. I don't, he said. I don't understand any of this. The app flashed red. Recipient is becoming emotional. Maintain professional distance. Do not offer comfort beyond script. I know it's hard right now, I read, but you'll be okay. We both will. Will we? His voice was harder now. The script moved to the final section. practical arrangements, details about moving out, splitting things, not contacting each other. I think it's best if we don't see each other for a bit, I read, just to give us both space to heal. How long is a bit, he asked. A few weeks, maybe longer. And then what? Then we'll see. But for now, this is goodbye. The interface changed. Call complete. Remain online for client feedback. I heard him stand up in the living room, heard him walk toward the bedroom. The door opened. He was holding his phone, looking at me, looking at my phone. What are you doing? He asked. The line was still connected. I could hear his voice twice, once through the door, once through the speaker. Hang up, I said. What is this? He stepped closer. What are you doing? The app flashed. Do not break character. Call is still active. Hang up. He looked at his phone, then at mine, then back at me. You're the one calling me, he said slowly. You're reading those things to me. The app chimed. Client has requested call extension. Additional payment authorized. Continue script. There's more? He was reading over my shoulder now, looking at the script, at the client notes, at the payment amount. Get out, I said. How long have you been doing this? He grabbed my phone. I tried to pull it back, but he held on. How long have you been taking these calls? The interface locked. Unauthorized access detected. Call will be terminated. Payment will be forfeit. Give it back. He was scrolling through the assignment history, through the completed calls, through the payments. You've been doing this for weeks, he said. You've been reading breakup scripts to strangers for money. I needed the money. So you took a job breaking up with people? He was still scrolling. You've done 40 calls. Give me the phone. He stopped scrolling. His face changed. This one. This call. I paid for this. I know. You knew? His voice went flat. You knew I hired you to break up with me and you did it anyway? I didn't have a choice. You didn't have a choice? He held up the phone. It says right here you accepted the assignment. It says you could have refused. I would have lost everything I'd earned. So you chose the money, he said. The app chimed. Both phones. Call terminated due to policy violation. Payment canceled. Account under review. He handed my phone back. There. Now, you don't have to choose. I looked at the screen. The payment counter had reset to zero. $470. Gone. You just cost me everything, I said. I cost you? He laughed. It sounded wrong. I just paid you $40 to break up with myself because I was too scared to do it in person. And you're mad about the money? You knew I'd get the call. You knew I'd have to read it. I didn't know anything, he said. I thought it was random. I thought some stranger would call you and say the things I couldn't. You updated the script. You added notes while I was on the call. You knew it was me. He was quiet. Then, I hoped it was you. I didn't know for sure until you started reading. Why? Because I couldn't do it myself, he said. Because every time I tried to say it out loud, I couldn't get the words out. Because hiring someone else felt easier than watching your face when I told you the truth. What truth? That I've wanted to leave for months. That I've been too scared to go. That I thought if someone else said it first, it would hurt less. The app chimed one more time. Account suspended pending investigation. All pending payments canceled. Service access revoked. I set the phone down. He was still standing in the doorway holding his phone, looking at me like he was waiting for something. So that's it? I asked. I guess so, he said. He turned and walked back to the living room. I heard him pick up his keys. The door opened and closed. His footsteps faded down the hallway. I sat on the bed and stared at my phone. The app's icon was grayed out. Locked. The payment counter showed zero. The assignment history was gone. My email chimed. A message from Empathy Solutions. Subject line, account termination notice. I deleted it without reading. I sat on the bed staring at the locked screen until my eyes blurred. The app icon was still there, grayed out and useless. I tried opening it twice more. Same result. Account suspended. Access revoked. My phone buzzed. A notification from my bank. Payment received. $30. The call I'd just completed. The one where he'd stood in the doorway watching me read his own words back to him. I opened my messages. His text was still there. You did great. I typed back. Where did you go? 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Coffee shop, need to think. I set the phone down and walked to the kitchen. His mug was still on the counter, tea bag floating in cold water. I poured it out and rinsed the cup. My hands were steady now. Too steady. The apartment felt different. Smaller. Like the walls had moved closer while I wasn't looking. I opened my laptop and searched for the app's terms of service. The page loaded slowly. I scrolled to the section on account suspension. Violations of client-contractor boundaries may result in immediate termination and forfeiture of all payments. Below that was a subsection I'd never read before. Contractors who knowingly accept assignments involving personal contacts are subject to legal action for breach of confidentiality. I closed the laptop. My phone buzzed again. Not him this time. An email from Empathy Solutions. Different from the termination notice. This one had an attachment. Your recent call has been flagged for quality review. Please see attached recording and client feedback. Note that this review may impact your eligibility for account reinstatement. I opened the attachment. An audio file. 12 minutes and 43 seconds. I pressed play. My voice came through first. Flat. Professional. Reading the script exactly as written. Then his voice confused at first, then quieter. Then the moment when he opened the door and everything fell apart. The recording cut off when he grabbed my phone. The last thing captured was my voice saying, "Get out." Below the audio file was a feedback form. 5 categories. Tone, clarity, adherence to script, emotional control, overall satisfaction. He'd rated me 4 out of 5 stars in every category. The only one marked lower was emotional control, 3 stars. The comment section said, contractor remained professional despite difficult circumstances. Would recommend for future assignments. I read it 3 times. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered without thinking. This is Rachel from Empathy Solutions. Am I speaking with the contractor assigned to account 4729? Yes. I'm calling regarding your recent suspension. We've reviewed the incident and determined that while you technically violated our personal contact policy, the assignment was accepted in good faith. Your account will be reinstated within 24 hours. What about the payments? Pending payments have been canceled per our terms of service. However, the call you completed tonight has been processed. You should see that deposit within 1 business day. That's it? $30? I understand your frustration, but our policy is clear. Contractors who violate boundaries forfeit all pending compensation. You're fortunate we're reinstating your account at all. The client knew I'd get the call. He targeted me specifically. Our assignment algorithm is fully randomized. If a client's submission happened to match a contractor's personal information, that's coincidental. We have no way to verify intent. He updated the script while I was on the call. He added notes in real time. Clients are permitted to modify assignments up until the call is completed. That's standard practice. So he can do this again? Silence. Then, clients may submit as many assignments as they wish. Our system will continue to distribute them randomly. If you're uncomfortable with potential future assignments, you're welcome to decline them. However, declined assignments do count against your completion rate. What happens if my completion rate drops? Below 80%, your account is automatically suspended. Below 70%, it's permanently terminated. How many calls have I completed? 41. Your current completion rate is 100%. So if I decline one call, I drop to 97%. Correct. And if I decline 5, I'm suspended. That's correct. I heard papers shuffling on her end. Is there anything else I can help you with? No. Your account will be active again by tomorrow morning. Thank you for your service. She hung up. I set the phone down and walked to the window. The street below was empty except for one person walking a dog. Normal. Everything looked normal. My phone buzzed. A text from him. Coming back in 20. Can we talk? I didn't respond. I opened the app on my laptop instead. The desktop version was still accessible even though my phone was locked out. I logged in and checked the assignment queue. 3 new calls waiting. $12 each. None of them addressed to me. I clicked the first one. Standard breakup script. Client in Nevada. Recipient in Oregon. No personal details. No red flags. I accepted it. The second assignment loaded. Apology call. Client in Texas. Recipient in Florida. Template script. Nothing unusual. I accepted that one too. The third assignment took longer to load. When it finally appeared, the payout was different. $50. Triple the standard rate. The recipient name was mine. I refreshed the page. It didn't change. The script was titled Final Closure, Permanent Separation. The client ID was the same as before. Same anonymous account. The notes section had one line. Contractor may recognize content. Proceed regardless. Payment is non-refundable. I clicked on the client profile. The account creation date was 2 months old, but the activity log showed something new. 3 other assignments completed in the past week. All of them marked successful. I opened the completed calls list. 3 names I didn't recognize. 3 different contractors. 3 different scripts. All of them practice runs. My phone buzzed. Another text from him. 5 minutes away. I looked back at the laptop. The assignment was still open. The timer showed 23 hours and 58 minutes remaining. At the bottom of the screen was a button I'd never noticed before. Report assignment. I clicked it. A form appeared. Reason for report, evidence of violation, supporting documentation. I started typing. Client is using service to harass contractor. Multiple assignments submitted with personal information. Request immediate investigation and client account suspension. I hit submit. The response came back instantly, automated. Thank you for your report. Our team will review your submission within 3 business days. Please note that reported assignments must still be completed within the standard time frame to avoid penalties. I closed the laptop. The door opened. He walked in carrying a paper bag. Coffee cups. 2 of them. Got you something, he said. He set 1 cup on the counter in front of me. I didn't touch it. We need to talk, he said. I know. He sat down at the table. I stayed standing. I'm sorry, he said. For all of it. For using the app. For not just talking to you like a normal person. Okay, that's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? He looked at his coffee. I don't know. I thought you'd be angrier. I was. I'm not anymore. Why not? Because I get it now. Why you did it. Why anyone does it. He looked up. What do you mean? It's easier. Paying someone else to say the hard things. Letting them take the blame. You don't have to watch the other person's face. You don't have to hear them cry. You just send the money and wait for it to be over. That's not why I did it. Then why? He was quiet for a long time. Then, because I thought if someone else said it, it wouldn't be real. Like I could still take it back somehow. Can you? I don't know, can I? My phone buzzed. A notification from the app. New assignment accepted. Call scheduled for tonight. Please review script and prepare accordingly. I picked up the coffee he'd brought me. It was cold. I have to work tonight, I said. Another call? Yeah. Can it wait? No. He stood up. Then I'll go. Give you space. You don't have to. I think I do. He walked to the door, then stopped. For what it's worth, you really were great. On the call. You sounded like you meant it. I did mean it. He nodded slowly. Then he left. I waited until his footsteps faded before I opened my laptop again. The new assignment was still there. $50, 23 hours, and 41 minutes remaining. I clicked on the script and started reading. I opened the script and read it through twice without stopping. The title was accurate. Final closure. Permanent separation. Every line was designed to end things completely. No room for reconciliation. No soft edges. The opening paragraph referenced our first date. Not just the coffee shop this time, but what I'd ordered. What he'd said when I laughed at his joke about the barista's handwriting. Details I'd forgotten until I saw them written out. The second section covered our anniversary. The dinner reservation he'd made 6 months late because he kept forgetting. The way I'd pretended not to mind. The script included my exact words from that night. It's fine, really. In quotation marks. I scrolled down. The middle section was longer. It listed every argument we'd had in the past year. Not summaries. Full reconstructions. Things I'd said when I was angry. Things he'd said back. Dates and times included in the notes. The final paragraph was short. This is the last time we'll speak. I need you to accept that. I need you to stop waiting for me to change my mind. Below the script was a new section I hadn't seen in previous assignments. Post-call instructions. 3 bullet points. Do not contact recipient after call ends. Do not attempt to discuss call content in person. Block recipient's number immediately upon completion. I checked the client notes. 1 new line added 15 minutes ago. Contractor will recognize all content. This is intentional. Payment is guaranteed regardless of emotional response. My phone buzzed. A text from him. Left my charger. Coming back to grab it. I looked at the timer. 23 hours and 37 minutes. I opened a new tab and searched for the app's client portal. The login page appeared. I tried his email and the password he used for everything. It worked. His dashboard loaded. Account created 2 months and 3 days ago. Total spent $218. Assignments completed 7. I clicked on the assignment history. The first 4 were dated from 7 weeks ago. Different recipients, different scripts, all of them breakups. The first name was someone I recognized, his ex from college, the one he said he'd ended things with cleanly. The script told her he'd been cheating, that he'd never really loved her, that she should stop trying to contact him. The second name I didn't know. The script was shorter. Professional tone. Ending a friendship. No explanation given. The third and fourth were similar. Clean cuts. No details. Just, this isn't working and we need space. The 5th assignment was dated 3 weeks ago. My name. The first script. The one I'd read while he sat in the living room. The 6th was from last night. The second script. The one he'd watched me read. The 7th was tonight's assignment. Still pending. I clicked on his account settings. Payment method on file. Auto renewal enabled. Notification preferences set to real-time updates. There was a section I hadn't expected. Saved scripts. 12 drafts. All of them addressed to me. Different versions. Different approaches. He'd been writing them for weeks. I opened the oldest one. Dated 6 weeks ago. The tone was softer. More apologetic. I know this is sudden, but I think we need to talk about where this is going. The next draft was harsher. I can't do this anymore. I need out. The third one tried humor. Remember when we said we'd know when it was time? I think it's time. He'd revised them over and over, testing different words, different structures, trying to find the version that would hurt least, or maybe the version that would hurt most. The final draft was the one I'd been assigned tonight, the longest, the most detailed, the one that included everything. I clicked on his message history, 3 conversations with support, all of them asking the same question. Can I request a specific contractor? The first response said no. The system was randomized. He'd asked again 2 days later. What if I include details only one person would recognize? Support had replied. Our algorithm matches assignments based on availability and location. Specific details may increase the likelihood of a local contractor, but we cannot guarantee assignment to any individual. His third message was from last week. If a contractor completes multiple assignments from the same client, does that affect future matching? Support's response was longer this time. Our system does track contractor-client compatibility. Successful completions may result in preferential matching for future assignments, though this is not guaranteed. He'd figured it out. The more calls I completed, the more likely I was to get his next one. I opened my own contractor dashboard. Assignment history. 41 completed calls. I filtered by client ID. 3 of them were his. The 2 I'd already done, plus 5 others I didn't remember. I clicked on the oldest one, 8 weeks ago, before he'd even created his account. A test assignment. Generic breakup script. No personal details. I'd completed it in 6 minutes. The client ID was different, but the payment method matched. He'd used a different account. A practice run. I checked the other 4. All of them generic. All of them completed before he'd started sending personal scripts. He'd been training me, getting me used to his voice, his phrasing, making sure I wouldn't recognize him when the real assignments came through. My phone buzzed. Another text. Can't find my charger. Mind if I come in? I didn't respond. I went back to his saved scripts and opened the folder labeled Archive. 43 drafts. Some of them only a few lines, others several pages long. One of them was titled If She Finds Out. I opened it. I know you're reading this. I know you figured it out. I'm sorry. I didn't know how else to do it. I didn't know how else to say the things I needed to say without watching your face break. This way is cleaner. This way we both get what we need. You get paid. I get closure. Nobody has to pretend it doesn't hurt. Below that was another draft. If she refuses, I know you don't want to do this. I know it feels wrong, but you accepted the assignment. You took the money. You agreed to the terms. All I'm asking is that you finish what you started. Read the words. Let me go. Let us both go. I closed the laptop and walked to the window. He was standing outside the building looking up, phone in his hand, waiting. My phone buzzed. I can see your light on. I know you're there. I opened the laptop again and went back to his client dashboard. There was a section I'd missed before. Scheduled assignments. 1 entry. Dated for next week. Recipient name, mine. Script status, draft, payout, $100. I clicked on it. The script was incomplete. Only the first paragraph written. This is the last one. I promise. After this, I'll delete my account. I'll stop. But I need you to do this one more time. I need you to read these words and mean them. I need to hear you say it's over and believe it. The rest was blank. I opened a new message to support. I need to report a client for harassment. Account ID 4729. Multiple assignments targeting a specific contractor. Request immediate suspension and investigation. I attached screenshots, his dashboard, his saved scripts, his message history. I hit send. The response came back in 30 seconds. Automated. Thank you for your report. Our team will review your submission within 3 business days. I tried again. This is urgent. The client is actively targeting me. I have evidence of premeditation and manipulation of your assignment system. Same automated response. I called the support line. It rang 8 times before someone picked up. Empathy Solutions, this is Rachel. I need to speak to someone about a client violation. I submitted a report an hour ago and got an automated response. All reports are reviewed in the order they're received. Current wait time is 3 business days. The client is submitting assignments specifically to harass me. He's manipulating your system. Our system is fully encrypted and randomized. No client can target a specific contractor. He's doing it anyway. I have proof. If you have evidence of a policy violation, please submit it through our online form. A representative will review it and respond accordingly. I already did that. Then you'll receive a response within 3 business days. What am I supposed to do until then? You can decline any assignments you're uncomfortable with. However, declined assignments do count against your completion rate. So my options are complete his calls or lose my account. Those are the terms you agreed to when you signed up. I hung up. My phone buzzed. A text from him. I'm coming up. I heard footsteps in the hallway. A knock on the door. I know you're in there, he said through the door. We need to talk. I opened the laptop and went back to his client dashboard. There was one option I hadn't tried. Delete account. I clicked it. A warning appeared. Deleting your account will cancel all pending assignments and forfeit any unused credits. This action cannot be undone. I clicked confirm. Another warning. Are you sure? You have 1 active assignment scheduled for tonight. Canceling now will result in a cancellation fee of $50. I clicked confirm again. The screen went blank. Then a new message appeared. Account deletion failed. Active assignments must be completed or expired before account can be closed. The knock came again, louder this time. Please, he said, just let me in. I closed the laptop and walked to the door. I didn't open it. Go away, I said. I can't. Not until we finish this. We're done. I deleted your account. Silence, then. You can't do that. You don't have access. I figured out your password. That's illegal. That's hacking. So is harassment. I'm not harassing you. I'm trying to end things the only way I know how. By forcing me to break up with myself? By paying me to read your words back to you? I'm paying you to do your job. My job isn't to be your therapist. Then quit. Delete your account. Walk away. I can't. I need the money. Then do the call. I opened the door. He was standing in the hallway, phone in hand, looking tired. I tried to delete your account, I said. It won't let me. Says you have an active assignment. I know, I got the notification, so cancel it. I can't, I already paid. Get a refund. It's non-refundable. You know that. Then I'm not doing it. You have to. You accepted the assignment. I'll decline it. I'll take the hit to my completion rate. You can't decline it. It's already started. The timer's running. I looked at my phone. He was right. The assignment status had changed from pending to active. 23 hours and 14 minutes remaining. I'll let it expire, I said. Then you lose everything. All your pending payments, your account, everything. I don't care. Yes, you do. You need that money. We both know you do. He stepped closer. I didn't move back. Just do the call, he said. Read the script. Let me hear you say it one more time. Then it's over. I'll delete my account. I'll leave. You'll never have to see me again. Why does it have to be me? Because you're the only one who knows what it means. You're the only one who'll say it right. I said it right the first 2 times. No, you didn't. You were reading. You weren't feeling it. What do you want me to feel? I want you to mean it. I want you to say you're done and actually be done. I am done. Then prove it. Do the call. Say the words. Make me believe it. I looked at him, at the phone in his hand, at the way he was standing too close like he was afraid I'd disappear if he stepped back. If I do this, I said, you delete your account. You leave tonight. You don't come back. Deal. And you pay me double. $100 instead of $50. He hesitated, then nodded. Fine. I went back inside and picked up my laptop. He followed me in and sat on the couch. Not here, I said. Go to the coffee shop, the one with the blue tables. I'll call you in 10 minutes. Why there? Because that's where this started. That's where it should end. He stood up and walked to the door. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. He left. I waited until I heard the building door close before I opened the app and pulled up the script. I read through it one more time. Every detail, every memory, every carefully chosen word designed to hurt just enough. Then I opened a new document and started typing my own version. I opened the recording interface and pressed the red button. No script this time. No client notes. Just me and the microphone and everything I should have said weeks ago. I'm not reading your script, I said. I'm not doing this your way anymore. You wanted me to mean it, so here it is. We're done. Not because you paid me to say it. Not because some app told me how to phrase it. We're done because you turned something real into a transaction. Because you thought empathy was something you could outsource for $12 a call. Because when it mattered most, you hid behind a stranger's voice instead of using your own. I stopped, took a breath, kept going. You spent 2 months writing scripts about us. 2 months practicing how to hurt me in the cleanest way possible. You could have just talked to me. You could have been honest. But you chose this instead. You chose to make me complicit in my own breakup. To make me perform your cowardice for money we both needed. That's not closure. That's cruelty. My voice cracked, but I didn't stop. So here's what you paid for. I'm done. I'm done pretending this was ever going to work. I'm done waiting for you to be brave enough to face me. I'm done reading other people's pain for rent money while ignoring my own. Delete your account. Keep your $100. I don't want it anymore. I ended the recording and uploaded it to the app. The system processed it immediately. Payment pending. Client notified. A feedback form appeared on screen. 5 categories. 1 comment box. I typed 1 word. Delivered. Then I deleted the app, closed my laptop, and finally let myself cry.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop your favorite part in the comments. See you in the next one.